Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to use the scientific calculator to calculate the standard deviation, the variance, the mean or average, the first quartile, the third quartile, the minimum value, the maximum value, and this is for population and for samples as well. Okay, today I'm going to use scientific calculator Casio Fx991 ES. Okay, and we have different version of this one. This is version 1, I think. We have version 2, which is more advanced, but both of them have the same buttons, so you can use the same video to learn how to use both of them. But we have an older version of 991 Fx991 ES, and the only difference between them, it will be in step number 2, which I'm going to show you once we reach to this point. Okay, so here in this video, let us start. I just restart the calculator to reset it again. So here, if you can see, we have reset above button number 9. I have reset it again, so shift reset. Okay, clean everything. 3, option number 3, initialize all. Okay, then equals, yes, then AC. So now it is reset. This step, why I show it to you, because after you finish your calculation with the statistics, you have to return your calculator to the initial, or to reset again to the initial condition, so you will not make any error in other calculations. Okay, that's why I decided to show you this step the first step initially, in order to understand how to reset your calculator again. Okay, so let us start. So now, how to start with the statistics. We have here setup or menu button here next to on, this one, setup or menu. Just click on it. The first option which you can see here is calculate. This is button number 1. If I want it, I have to press on button number 1. The second button is complex. The third one is base in. The fourth one is matrix. If I want matrix, I have to click 4. Vector number 5, and my desired option is statistics, option number 6. This is what I'm looking for, option number 6, statistics. So I'm going to press X, X, okay? Then I have here one variable or equation, linear equation or quartile equation or simultaneous equation or whatever. So I'm going to choose option number 1, because in my example here, I have only one list of data, one set of data, which is the height. So it's only X. I don't have X and Y. I don't have 2 sets of data. Okay, so my data 7.6, 8.2, 6.9, 8.1. This is the list of the data, or the set of the data which I'm having here, and this is called X. Okay, if I have 2 sets of data, there are different options that I have 2 variables. But here in this case, I have only one variable, so I am going to click one variable, button number 1. Okay. So here it asks me to enter all the X values. So I'm going to enter all the X data which I have, the heights. Okay, the first one is 7.6, then equals, second one 8.2, equals 6.9, equals 8.1, equals 7.5, equals 7.3, equals 8.4, equals 6.5, equals 7.9, equals 7, equals. So I'm done with my data. So what's the next? I have to click AC. Okay, clear all. Okay, or all clear. So now I can see that in my calculator shows statistics first variable. This is the same message. If you remember at the beginning of the video, it was shown here. So I'm in this statistics mode. Okay, so the only difference between this version Fx991 ES, the version 1, version 2, and the previous versions, okay, is here we have an option. If I click on it, I'll get all the data. But in the old version, I have to click Shift and 1. If I click Shift and 1, then I'll get all the answer, all the calculation done by the calculator. But in this calculator, it's directly, no need to click Shift and 1. I have options. So I click on option. I'll get 1 select data, 2 variable calculations, 3 data. So I want the variable calculation. Okay, 1 variable calculation. Okay, I want the calculation. So I click on 2. So now I got all the data. The first one here is X bar, which is the mean or average. Then I got the sum of x, which is 75. If you can notice here, the x bar is 7.54 and the sum of x is 75.4. Okay, because the mean or the average which I have here is sum x divided n, and n in my case was 10. Okay, so n here is 10 numbers, so 75.4 divided 10 equals 7.54. Okay, so then I get sum x squared in case if it is required. Then I'll get the standard deviation and the variance. Okay, so here start with sigma square. Sigma square or s square means variance. Anything of these two, square means variance, so the variance always is square. But what is the difference? So I have to forget about x because I have one variable and its name is x. So some people are getting confused. Why sigma square x? It is sigma square. You can consider sigma square only without x, and sigma and s square without x. If x is confusing you, you can ignore x. X is the variable name because all the variables here are called x, x1, x2, x3, and so on. Okay, so sigma square means I have the variance for the population. Sigma for population, not for sample. Okay, so sigma square means I have the variance, sigma square variance. Okay, variance but for population. If I have s square, it is the variance but for the sample. So sigma square and the s square both are the same, but one of them for the population and the other one for the sample. Okay, but the figures here and there are not the same. Yes, if you remember when we took the formula of the sigma square and the s square, okay, the standard deviation for population and for sample, we said the standard deviation for population equal sum of x minus x bar square divided n. Okay, but in the case of the sample it was sum x minus x bar square divided n minus 1. So in case of the sample it is n minus 1 because of the degree of freedom, and in sigma square in the case of the population it is divided n. That's why you find the values are different. Okay, also the same thing here, sigma. Sigma means standard deviation. So sigma square variance, sigma is standard deviation. Standard deviation of x, this is for the population. Sigma standard deviation for the population 0.588. If I scroll down here, I find sigma sx. S means the standard deviation but for the sample. Okay, so this also standard deviation but for the sample, and this is actually the one which I'm looking for in most of the cases, because we are in rare cases dealing with the population, because for population you need the mean or the average. The average of the population, it is very difficult to get it because your population might be 1 million or 300,000 or 2 million or 3 million. The population, the full population, it is difficult to get the mean or the average of the population. Okay, so it has to be given in the problem itself. Okay, but in the case of sample, you can calculate the average or the mean because your sample is maybe 10 number, 15 number, 5 number, 7 numbers only. Okay, so you can calculate the average of them or the mean. Okay, so here this is the standard deviation which I'm looking for, S standard deviation of x. But why it's called S not sigma? Because this is for the sample, standard deviation for the sample. If I'm looking, or my question asking about the standard deviation for the population, the full population, so I have to use sigma. So I can use sigma, I can use S. It depends on the problem. If it is sample, S. If it is population, it will be sigma. If he asks me about the variance, it will be sigma square for population and S square for the sample. Okay, and it is very easy. If I want to get sigma, I can get the square root of sigma square. I get sigma square root of S square. I can go because the standard deviation is the square root of the variance. Okay, also I have here the number. Okay, the sample number, the count of the sample numbers. Okay, how many numbers are there in the sample? There are 10 in my case. I have the minimum value. I have the first quartile. I have the minimum value. I have the first quartile. I have the median. I have the third quartile. Okay, I have the maximum quartile. So the maximum value. Okay, so again I have the minimum value. I have the first quartile, the median, the third quartile, and the maximum value. Then I can click on AC. If I want to delete this message and be in the normal mode, I have also again to come again and reset my calculator. Shift, reset, select 3, initialize all, equals. If yes, click equals, so equal. Then press AC to initialize all, AC. That's it. Thank you very much, and I hope that you find my video useful to you.